Hey everybody, it's Bob Parsons. I think it's July 23rd. We're right in there somewhere. And this is another unscripted, I've got time on my hands video. Let me turn that little amplifier off. I was going to show you something as I was tuning up my guitar that I start with the A string, and it's not like I have perfect pitch or anything, way far from it. But if I have a good sounding A string, that sounds good to me. I'll go to the 7th fret, hit the harmonic, and get the E string. And at this point now, once you establish that that's the pitch, now you're listening to wavelengths more than pitch. I know that might be a little razor line fence between the two, but it is a distinction that helps me understand that when I have a vibration, I know it's out of tune, and I don't really have to think about pitch. I can just now listen to the vibrations. But once you get those two strings tuned to in tune, then the E string harmonic will give you the B. And then the A string harmonic will give you the E. You can double check the E by... Now you can use harmonics at the 7th, 5th, and 7th fret to get the D and G strings. And once you get the D, check that E on the D. Check the E on the G string. And you're kind of tuning up from the middle of the strings here, and that's important. I got that idea from Tal Farlow because he had good enough ears to say, hey, you know, the guitar is not a very perfect instrument as far as tuning goes. So if you can tune up from the middle, you'll be a little off this way and a little off this way, and that's about the best you can do. But if you tune up here at the open strings, you'd be twice as far off, if that makes any sense to you. So, having said that, there's a song that I teach, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, and it goes like this. C, E, A, D minor, A, D minor, F, F sharp diminished, that should be, yeah, C, A, D7, G. That is a very difficult song to play over and think in terms of musical theory because it is in the key of C, and it has 3 chords in it that should be, if they're normal or diatonic to the key of C, the A minor, the E minor, and what's the other one? B minor. Well, that's not in the song at all. Let's see, B minor wouldn't be to C. We have D minor. Yeah, D minor, A minor, and E minor. Well, in this song you have a D major, an A major, and an E major. So you've got problems. And so you have to think in a bluesy hybrid way here if you want to think in terms of scales. And if you play it like I do, I have to think in terms of chords on this. I'll give a shout out to a friend, Mike Puliors, up here in Anchorage. Played it one night and he doesn't know that much about music theory, but he has an incredible ear, and he played the coolest solo I've ever heard play. I mean, not ever live, not ever in Anchorage. I think he played the coolest solo I've ever heard on that song. And I think it tells you right there that since it's the coolest and he doesn't know that much about music theory, that music theory can only take you so far. In this case, it'll teach you that this song's, it's like All of Me. All of Me is almost the same chord progression. For me, I have to think in terms of the chords, and it's really difficult for me to do that. But one thing I was taught when I was young was to play triad chords. So the song in triads goes like this: C, E, A, D minor, A, D minor, F, F sharp diminished, and then we got what comes after that, C, as it goes down to A, then the D7 to a C to a G that ends up on a 7. So you can play a solo of something like this. So now we want to go to the next section, is the next chorus, I should say. We're going to play thinking in terms of other triads. So we got the same chord progression, but we have C, E, A, D minor, A, D minor, F, F diminished, C, A, D, and G. So we're going to incorporate those shapes into our solo. It might sound like this. So I'm playing right through those chords. C, E, A, D minor, F diminished, C, A, D, and G. So the chords, one thing I noticed about chord playing through chords, you always look like you know what you're doing. And it's like, oh gosh, there's a song, I think it's a song by Spirit, and I just remember hearing it as a kid, that the guy played, he hit these chord punches in this solo. It's the first time I really heard that. I didn't know it was called a chord punch, but it let you know where you were in the progression, and that was really cool. And if there's one thing I've been lacking in my playing is chord punches, and Mark Stephanie is really good at chord punches. His name is Mark, M-A-R-K, Stephanie, S-T-E-F-A-N-I, and he's out of Portland, just a great teacher. And so I do have a song, and thinking of playing through chords. When I first started taking jazz lessons, Joe Craig showed me, he just played this. He goes, and I go, whoa, what's that? He goes, take it easy, Bobby, it's just the major scale. Well, I was 40 years old, and to me that wasn't just the major scale, because the reverse of that was this. And that's what I heard Larry Carlton play on last night in the BP Blues, but he played it from F. And then resolved it to a G. So to me it wasn't a major scale, it was a coolism. But anyway, he taught me the major scale, and it had the major scale, obviously. This is like a C or a A major 7 chord. You can see what that looks like. Anyway, major 7's here on top. I knew the names of those chords, but I honestly didn't know what major 7 meant. I know it's incredible to think, how can you know the names of chords and not know what they do? I knew where they were, but I didn't know the relationship. And so anyway, I started to learn that. Well, I wrote this song, and because it has all major 7 chords, I wanted to really have something to play over. It goes like this. And I don't think I've ever named this song. It's it's A major 7, E major 7, G major 7, D major 7, with a little G9 in there, and then, which you can forget, A major 7, E major 7, G major 7, D major 7. Just repeats, playing different inversions of the chords. Well, here's the solo melody I came up with. So there's a second part to it yet. So all of those notes are right through the chords. Right through a D here. D major 7. And then Joe Craig helped me with this, the B section, which I take to the major 6th of the, I take to the 3rd of the A, which is C sharp. It gets kind of bluesy here. Then we go to B. Okay. B minor. B minor 11 to a B flat. I call it the Joe Beam move. That's kind of an A major 7, but it can act like an E as it's going to resolve to an A major 7. It'd be a strange E chord, but it would be like an E with a 6th in it. Anyway, but the fact that the whole thought about this is that it's a playing through chords, and sometimes it's the only way to get the job done, and you can come up with some really cool melodies doing just forcing yourself to play within those chords and find the juice of the chord that you're playing and see what it brings about. Here's a song I didn't know how to play at first that I wrote. It goes like this. It's a B. It goes from basically, those are B major chords. Major 7, major 7, major 6. And a lot of chords and had me messed up. Sounds natural, but a lot of movement. And I realized it's going from B major to B minor. To B major. Minor. B major. And it's all just going between those two chords. Major to minor. So that's the unscripted story of the morning, is playing through chords, and I hope you can have a good time with that. Any questions on the tunes, give me a shout. I think I have a a fake book that's a PDF, and most of my songs are on that. And the one in B there is called "The Way You Make Me Feel." Let me play the whole thing for you. Is it going out here? 2, 3. Because on the bridge, I have to play through the chords. You'll see. Anyway, mess that up. You get the idea. And yeah, playing through chords can be a lot of fun. And eventually, I think Larry Carlton plays a lot through chords, and of course he understands how they work together, to where he's doing a lot more than just playing through chords. But you understand how some chords work together with other ones to lead. And this video is getting kind of long. It's already 22 minutes. But I just have to say that when nobody knows you, when you're down and out, that E chord is going to that A. It's a 5 chord going E to the 1. So in theory, if you were playing, you could play you could always play that E chord on the way to an A chord. If you were playing in the, it's like, you could think in terms of that E chord, even if it wasn't there. Maybe. Get some interesting sounds that way. It's flowing. C, E, A. Anyway, it's not going to hurt you to think that way and see what happens. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Take care.